Hey San Antonio, this is Robb from the MetalWorks. Tonight I am at the Backroom in Austin to welcome one of the year's best bands. I have with me Otep Shamaya of the band Otep. How are you doing tonight?
Doing very well. I'm very happy to be here in Texas, yes. So.
Welcome to the program. It's definitely a big pleasure having you here.
Thanks for supporting us. Big fan of Robb's MetalWorks, let me say. Right, it's all about it. Right on, yeah. Thanks for supporting us, really.
There are going to be some people tonight who for the first time are going to hear about Otep, so that's where I really want to start. Tell us a little bit about the beginnings of this band and how this band came together and where you guys are from and all that stuff.
We're from Los Angeles, California. That's right. I was an illustrator and a poet first, and then it sort of came into being. I wanted to try something sonic, so I went out trying to find the right people to try to bring this vision together, and you know, I met the guitar player, and then I met the drummer, and then the bass player, and we just got together, and we just, you know, we experimented and just tried to, you know, I took what I was doing visually, and you know, tried to bring that to life sonically. And so, you know, we started playing the club scene in LA, which is very fierce. It's very difficult there to break a band and to even get noticed because, you know, it's Los Angeles, you know, and so, but, you know, like after our third show, people were just coming out and supporting us, and labels were knocking on the door, and it was, you know, this overnight thing. I mean, we met Sharon Osbourne and Jack Osbourne came to a show. We were opening for Cold at the Roxy on Sunset Boulevard, and she saw us, and after the show, she was like, "You guys are coming to Ozfest," and this was 2001. Wow. And we were all, you know, I was like, "Sharon, you know, we don't have a record deal," and she's like, "I don't care, you know, just make it happen." So a month later, Captial Records approached us. We signed with them, and we were on Ozfest 2001. We were asked back to go to the European Ozfest 2002. We went back to that, and then we did the entire tour of Ozfest this year. And you know, the record came out in July with Terry Date was a producer, Pantera, Soundgarden, you know, Deftones. So you know, he was an amazing guy to work with, and you know, the record is, I think, is a true reflection of who we are and what the message we want to communicate. So.
And let's go ahead and jump into Sevas Tra. No doubt, a beautiful piece of work. I love all the spoken word stuff that you do on the record, and no doubt Robb is blasting, and Moke is doing a great job. Evil J is badass. And Terry Date, you're right, did a fabulous job on the record. It sounds beautiful on the stereo. I want to first talk about the title of the record, Sevas Tra, because some people are like, well, what does that mean? Tell us a little bit, elaborate on the title of the record.
Well, I think Sevas Tra is sort of our battle cry, you know. It's what we live by, you know, and it's an anagram, and it's art saves backwards, and yeah. See,
I did not know that. See?
You gotta look closer. You know, we're a multi-dimensional sort of band, brother. You know, we everything has layers. You know, our band's like an onion. You know,
a lot of layers.
A lot of layers, right? Okay, so yeah, Sevas Tra, I think we really went in trying to. We understood that we wanted to do a very aggressive, brutal record, but no gimmicks. You know, just something that's real in us and that has a piece of us left inside this record. And you know, we wanted to explore every aspect of who we are as artists and not just like limit ourselves because, oh, you know, in metal or new metal or in aggressive music they don't do that. You know, we just left all that behind and just made the music we wanted to listen to and the music we wanted to make.
When I hear the record, some would say, oh, this is a very personal record as far as Otep and where she's coming from, but the word I like to use is intimate, because there are so many things that you hear, especially in the spoken word stuff. Tell us a little bit about the theme from some of the songs. I mean, no doubt you're reflecting on things that you have gone through in your own life. Can you touch a little bit about that?
Sure. I think people understand pain, and I think life is full of it, and everyone knows what pain feels like. You know, I think, you know, there's a vast population out there that never encountered love at all, but everybody knows what suffering is. You know, right now, I mean, we see the world is suffering. So, you know, it's you know, as an artist, as a writer, you base your creations on whatever pours out of you. It's like this alchemical stew that comes out that's partly your own experiences, partly your own observations, and partly whatever, you know, your subconscious and the muses bring to the table that empowers you. And you just follow that and trust it. And, you know, for me, I I think it's important for writers to read a lot, to fill their heads with words and not limit themselves to their genre or to whatever it, challenge your beliefs. Make sure that, every side of what your opinion is covered, and even if there's, part of it that's endangered, as long as you believe strongly in it, then that's great.
We've been spitting the video for Blood Pigs. I dig it because it shows you guys doing your thing in the studio and getting off. Do you still think videos are important? Because for programs like mine regionally, it's still something that we cling on to.
Sure, videos are very important. I just think people have lost what videos are about. That video is a drop in the bucket as far as there's so many videos out there that they rely on special effects and all these things, and it's not even about the bands anymore. It's just about the gimmick, and it's just silly because music, the message should be the music, not the other way around. And when we went in, we were filming a documentary for the record, and I went to the documentary, the filmmaker, and I said, hey, why don't we include a live sequence of us playing the single Blood Pigs, because I think it's a very fierce song. It's an accurate representation of, who we are as artists and what we do live. It's the savagery, the brutality, how we lose ourselves on stage and bring out who we really are, and that most of these videos you see on MTV are millions and millions of dollars. This thing cost us less than like 12 grand to make. And that included the documentary. So it's there's an MTV culture that I'm not privy to. I know nothing about it. I know we're on MTV too because our fans helped get us on there by sending an email, which we thank you very much for doing, sending in requests. But there's an entire subculture that's completely devoted to what MTV spoon feeds them, and that's unfortunate because we're losing something. So I purposely try not to even watch those television shows because they don't support bands that go out like my band, and the other bands that are on our bill with us who are playing in clubs. Like we played a club a few nights ago that was not fit for a live performance. We still did it because of all the fans coming out. A lot of these people that are in music that are put on these pedestals know nothing about this because they spend their entire times in front of wall-to-wall mirrors having some person tell them 1, 2, 3 kick, 3, 4, 5 spin. It's and their biggest concern is how their hair looks and what fashion they're wearing. They don't sit down and write their own music. They don't write their own songs. They don't go out in front and wonder if people are going to applaud. They know people are going to applaud. They have auto-tune and, pitch shifters, which I do not use. No special effects on my voice. That's why it sounds like this.
And it even brought to life some of your own written artwork, and I've seen some of it on the sleeves, more so on the video and things like that.
All the illustrations and everything you see are done by me. I worked with the art director Paul Brown, who is an amazing artist, to do the record cover. He's done Marilyn Manson. I think he's done some Cold Chamber stuff as well. I hope. I know he's done a lot of Manson stuff. So, and he worked with us on the visuals of the album cover and the packaging, which is, it's an amazing Dali-esque, Salvador Dali triptych, Hieronymus Bosch kind of compilation, which is, it's a really amazing piece, and we wanted to do that as well, to bring something visual back to music. Like it used to be, you buy the record and you'd open it up and there'd be all this, you got who the band was without even looking at it. Now it's all about, I don't know, something else, two-dimensionalism.
In San Antonio, for some of you people out there who are unfortunate and don't have the release yet, this is the debut from Otep. It is called Sevas Tra. It's out on Captial Records, and no doubt a very reflective piece of artwork there on the front. Let's go ahead and jump into the tour, and we were talking a little bit before we started recording. You guys missed the San Antonio show because of technicalities. Talk about what are the plans as we end out 2002 and what lies ahead in 2003.
Touring. We just want to invade the entire North American landscape and just infect as many people as we can with inspiration. That's what we want to do. We're going to go home. We're going to celebrate the holidays, I guess, come back right after the New Year while all the industry people shut down and head to Aspen for the Christmas. We'll go back to our eating corn dogs and macaroni while they're out doing their thing, and then we'll get back out on the road. And there's talk of us going out maybe with Slayer. There's talk of us maybe going out with System of a Down, which would be really wonderful. We're being voted as the #1 band to return on Ozfest 2003 again this year, which would be a blessing. So, I don't know. We just want to tour. We just want to keep playing, keep supporting the record, and, if a new video comes up, we'll do it. If not, no, whatever. People just have to come see what we do live, So, can't leave, though, without saying get well, Sharon Osbourne. She's doing a tough little thing over there, so hopefully, without her, there would be no Ozzy, there would be no Ozfest, there'd be no Otep, and there's a lot of other bands that owe her everything, and we're one of them, so.
And as you've kind of experienced this rise, in the past couple of years, what have been maybe one of your personal highlights, maybe meeting someone or a personal performance or something that brings the highlight and something that you remember and probably always will remember?
I don't know. Maybe this year's Ozfest was really meaningful for us because the first year it was great. People knew who we were, or a lot of people didn't know, but Napster kind of helped us out a little bit with that because people were burning our music. But I think this past year, this entire Ozfest tour was amazing. I mean, you had people chanting our name at 9 o'clock in the morning while other bands are playing, which, enough respect to those other bands, but, it just meant a lot to us that people knew they were singing the words to our songs, especially Blood Pigs. I mean, that song just seems to evoke so much emotion. But I think just being on that tour really, it's a memory, and it's a part of my life that we'll never forget as a band, so, yeah.
It's been a beautiful thing having you on the show. Beautiful. Any last words for the people out there in San Antonio?
Thank you for supporting our record, and think no war on a rock. Yeah.
Remember San Antonio, Otep rocks right here on Robb's MetalWorks.